proxy party people? How's it going? My name is Adam. Today I'm going to be helping you learn how to set up proxies so you can make GET requests without getting IP banned. So the first thing you want to do, go ahead and pop open your trusty Google, and then here let's go ahead and look up smart proxy. So here we are. We can just click in there, and then here you can't see it because my head's in the way, but we want to create an account, or you can just click login. Let's go ahead and get signed in. All right, so go ahead, create your account and sign up. All right, so here we are on the dashboard. You can see all of our usage here. You can look at our subscriptions, and then here's the different types of proxies and the APIs here. For this example, we're going to be looking at some residential proxies. So let's go ahead and click into residential here, and then again into residential. So here we are on the residential proxies page. Here's where you can see how much data we've used so far in our trial. We've got plenty of data left. Now, for our Python script, we're going to need a user name and a password. So we're going to have to figure out how to find that. So here under authentication, if you click this drop down, you'll see all the different usernames you can use. There's only one set up right now. And then here under password, this is our password. You can also see these values here in these columns. Now by default, these are set to sticky proxies. We're going to want to switch this to rotating proxies. And what you'll notice is the ports here are all the same now. So we actually just need, one URL so that we can use the rotating proxies, and then the proxies are going to automatically rotate for every request that we make. So if you scroll down a bit, you can get some code snippets so you can start to get a feel for how to begin using your proxy in basic GET requests. So here under Python, we have a sample GET request. You can copy this, paste it out into your editor and start working with it right away. But I've got some scripts set up and we're going to just start walking through those. So here we are on our Python file. First thing we're going to do is import our modules. We've got operating system request, and then we've got our .env because we have our username and password in a .env file here. So your .env file, that's basically, it's like a text file, but it just has smart proxy user equals, and then in quotes it has your username, and a smart proxy on the second line, smart proxy password equals, and then in quotes is your password. So we're going to use this to load in our environment variables so that we can use them here in our F string. So as I was saying, we read in our username and password, and then here we have a URL. This is the URL we're going to hit with our GET request. And then next we have our proxy connection string. This has our authentication info. All right, then very simply here we have a GET request. You can see it here, has a few parameters. We have the URL that I mentioned. We have a dictionary, or it's JSON, whatever, however you want to think about it. It has here the value HTTP, then it has our connection string, and it also has a similar connection string because we're using the same connection string for HTTP and HTTPS. And then next we just have a timeout variable in case we don't get a response from the server. And then if all hell breaks loose, we have our error here. We're just going to catch that, and then we're just going to test it out. So I think what we can do is just go ahead and give it a go and see how it works. So here we are. And then you can see that it's sent a request through, and then we can have some of our information from our proxy right here. So the port of Spain. Hey, pretty cool, right? Trinidad and Tobago. Man, I think I need a vacation. Okay, awesome. So now that we got the basics down, we can do something actually useful like DDoSing, scraping our competitor's website. So here I have scraping be our mortal enemy. We have one of their blogs. And we're going to scrape the title out just so we can get a feel for how, to send this and do something useful. So here in the top of the script, we've got some similar modules, but we've got pretty print and then we've got beautiful soup. We're going to be using that to parse the HTML. Again, same deal here. We're just going to load that .env file. And then again, here we have our authentication and our proxy connection string, just like previously. Now this time we're going to actually create a function called proxy get. We're going to be passing in the URL that we want to get, and then we're also going to be passing our proxy connection string in. So again, here in this block, you're going to see a similar GET request where we're just passing in the URL, and then we're going to return the response. And then if it doesn't work out, then we just got some information here. So we've got our function here. Let's go ahead and run it. Now what we're going to want to do here is we're going to want to test it to make sure it works. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our test URL, and then we're going to run it twice just to get a feel for how when we loop through, we can get a different proxy each time. Okay, so now that we know that that works, we're going to be very nice to scraping. We're going to respect the terms of service. We have the URL for the blog that I showed you, and we're going to try to scrape out this title here. So let's go ahead and we're going to use our proxy get function. We're going to pass the URL and our proxy connection string. And then let's just print out the first 1,000 characters that come out of it, of our response.text. So here we are. You can see our document. And then here is our title right here. We've got our title tags. So let's go ahead and try to scrape that out. What we'll do is we'll just quickly pass this to our beautiful soup using an HTML parser there. And then we're going to go and extract the title. So we ran the HTML parser and then we grabbed out the title there and then we just printed out real nice. Now I recognize I didn't walk you through the Python request docs, nor did I walk you through Beautiful Soup 4, but I've got other videos on that. I'll put them in the description if you want to check them out.